Emperor. The emperor penguin is the heavyweight champion and the most specialized extreme cold operative in the bird world. It is the only penguin species that breeds during the Antarctic winter, enduring temperatures that can drop to around minus 60 degrees Celsius and winds that can reach about 200 kilometers per hour. Its operational doctrine relies on communal huddling to conserve heat. Physically, it is the largest of all penguins, possessing a high-density bone structure that allows for deep submergence missions to depths of over 500 meters. Its unique incubation protocol requires the male to balance a single egg on his feet for 2 months without eating, while the female conducts a long-range maritime foraging mission. King. The king penguin is the second largest species and a sub-Antarctic specialist. It is characterized by vibrant orange patches on its head and chest, serving as a high-visibility unit ID. Unlike other penguins, the king penguin operates on an unusual 14-month breeding cycle, meaning a colony always has chicks at various stages of development. Their logistics strategy involves deep diving for lanternfish and squid, often traveling hundreds of miles from their rookeries to find nutrient-rich feeding theaters. Adélie. The Adélie is the classic Antarctic operative, easily identified by its tuxedo-like appearance and the distinct white ring around its eyes. They are highly aggressive and bold infantry units, known for their fearlessness in the face of predators like leopard seals. Their territorial strategy involves the construction of stone nests. However, they are notorious clandestine thieves, frequently stealing stones from neighboring nests to improve their own fortifications. They are true ice-obligate species, their entire life cycle being tied to the presence of Antarctic sea ice. Chinstrap. Named for the thin black strap running under its chin, this species breeds in large colonies on ice-free, rocky coastal ground across the Antarctic peninsula and many sub-Antarctic islands. They often nest on steep, rocky slopes and terraces, sometimes well above the shoreline, but they still depend on nearby access to the sea for feeding. Their operational profile is defined by extreme noise and aggression. They are one of the most numerous penguin species and will fiercely defend their small, rocky territories against any infiltrator. Gentoo. The Gentoo penguin is the speed specialist of the aquatic theater, capable of reaching underwater speeds of 22 miles per hour or 36 kilometers per hour. It is easily identified by the white bonnet marking across the top of its head. Unlike their Pygoscelis cousins, Gentoos are flexible operatives that are expanding their range as ice recedes. They are highly opportunistic foragers and are often the first to colonize new ice-free sectors. They are also distinguished by their long, brush-like tails that sweep from side to side as they walk. Little Blue. The Little Blue, or fairy penguin, is the miniature unit of the penguin world, standing only 13 inches tall. Native to the coastlines of Australia and New Zealand, it operates under a nocturnal stealth protocol, leaving for sea before dawn and returning only after dusk to avoid aerial predators. Its feathers have a unique blue shift camouflage that blends in with the ocean surface when viewed from above. Despite their small size, they are highly vocal and maintain complex underground burrow systems for nesting. Magellanic. This species is a temperate specialist native to the coasts of South America. It is a member of the banded group, possessing a distinct double black band across its chest. Magellanic penguins are long-distance migratory assets, often traveling as far north as Brazil during the winter. They utilize subterranean fortifications, nesting in deep burrows to protect themselves from the heat and predators. Their vocal signature is a loud, braying sound, earning them the nickname jackass penguins, along with their African relatives. African. The African penguin is the only species deployed on the African continent, specifically the southwestern coast. Like its South American cousins, it is a burrow nester adapted for warmer climates. It features a unique thermal management system, pink patches of skin above the eyes that dissipate heat. Each African penguin has a unique pattern of black spots on its chest, acting like a biometric ID. They are currently a high-threat species, facing severe population decline due to overfishing in their primary operational waters. Humboldt. The Humboldt penguin is a coastal desert specialist found along the Pacific coast of South America, primarily in Peru and Chile. They rely on the cold, nutrient-rich Humboldt Current for their supply chain of anchovies and sardines. They traditionally nest in thick deposits of dried bird droppings, which provide excellent insulation. However, human harvesting of these deposits has compromised many of their primary fortifications, forcing them to adapt to less secure nesting sites. Galápagos. The Galápagos penguin is the equatorial outlier, being the only penguin species that lives north of the equator. To survive the heat of the Galápagos Islands, it has developed a low-energy lifestyle, spending the hottest parts of the day in the cool Cromwell Current. It utilizes panting and wing spreading as primary cooling tactics. Its operational window is entirely dependent on the El Niño Southern Oscillation. During warm water events, their food supply collapses, making them one of the most vulnerable and high-risk species in the penguin family. Macaroni. The Macaroni penguin is the biomass champion, with a global population that consumes more marine life than any other seabird. It is a member of the crested group, featuring a dramatic spray of orange-yellow feathers above its eyes. They are pelagic specialists, spending 6 months of the year at sea without ever touching land. Their nesting doctrine is unusual. They almost always lay 2 eggs, but intentionally reject the first, smaller egg to focus all resources on the second, larger one. Southern Rockhopper. The Rockhopper is the all-terrain specialist of the sub-Antarctic. Unlike other penguins that waddle, this species utilizes a vertical insertion technique, hopping over rugged rocks and crevices with both feet. They are defined by their blood-red eyes and eccentric yellow crests that stick out horizontally. They are famously feisty combatants, willing to strike at anything, including humans or large seals, that enters their operational perimeter. Northern Rockhopper. Often treated as a distinct operational variant, the northern rockhopper is found on the isolated islands of the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, such as Tristan da Cunha. It is distinguished from its southern cousin by much longer, more luxurious yellow crest feathers and a different vocal code. They are deep-sea foragers that specialize in hunting krill and small crustaceans in the warmer northern reaches of the Southern Ocean. Royal. The royal penguin is a localized operative found exclusively on Macquarie Island. It is often confused with the Macaroni penguin, but features a distinct visual ID, a white or pale gray face instead of the Macaroni's black face. Despite their restricted area of operations, they are highly successful, with colonies numbering in the hundreds of thousands. They are high-density specialists, nesting in massive, crowded city-like rookeries on the island's stony beaches. Fiordland. Also known as the Tawaki, this is a forest-nesting crested penguin endemic to New Zealand, breeding mainly along the southwest coast of the South Island and on Stewart Island/Rakiura and nearby islands. Unlike most penguins that prefer open coastlines, the Fiordland penguin conducts its nesting missions under the cover of dense vegetation, tree roots, and sea caves. It is a low-visibility species, being one of the most elusive and shy penguins in the world. Its operational profile is strictly seasonal, returning to the forest only to breed and molt, before vanishing back into the open ocean for months. Snares. The Snares penguin is a restricted range operative, found only on the tiny Snares Islands south of New Zealand. It is distinguished by a patch of bare pink skin at the base of its large, robust beak. They have a unique arboreal lifestyle, often nesting under the canopy of olearia forests. Because their islands are free of mammalian predators, they have a stable security environment, but their extreme localization makes them a single point of failure species if an environmental disaster were to strike their lone territory. Erect-crested. This species is the stiff-crested specialist of the Antipodes and Bounty Islands. It can raise and lower its distinctive yellow crest feathers during social displays. Their reproductive doctrine is the most extreme of all crested penguins. They almost always lose their first egg, yet they make no attempt to save it, a resource management strategy that still puzzles researchers. They spend the non-breeding season at sea, and their movements and distribution away from colonies are still not well understood. Yellow-eyed. The yellow-eyed penguin, or hoiho, is a solitary specialist native to New Zealand. Unlike most penguins that nest in massive colonies, the hoiho is an independent operative, preferring to nest out of sight from other penguins in coastal scrub or forests. It is characterized by its pale yellow eyes and a band of bright yellow feathers that runs across the back of its head. They are listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List and are considered one of the world's rarest penguin species, threatened by factors including habitat loss, introduced predators, disease, and bycatch. Thanks for watching. Which penguin do you think is the toughest survivor on Earth? Let me know what you think in the comments. Please also remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.